Brandon here, Mr. B's Fishing Things. What do you think? Quick feeding video? A little quick look around the fish room?
Here we have my 55 long on top of the rack of 4-foot tanks. And in this tank we have Danios and bristlenose plecos. We probably won't see the plecos right now, but it doesn't mean we're not going to put a little food in for them. We usually feed them in the evening or at night. So, watch what happens as soon as I get over here. They know something's going on. I haven't even put any food in yet. They're going to be getting a little bit of just flake food. And here we have it. I'm also going to drop a couple of green beans in there and maybe an algae wafer for all of the plecos to go and eat on. But I like to make sure these guys are fed up pretty good before I do that. Not that it'll hurt them to eat off the algae wafers, or the green beans for that matter, but because I want to make sure that the plecos get most of that. They finished that up pretty quickly. So we'll give them a little more. And a couple green beans. Now I recently showed you guys my barbs in this tank here. Well, of course, there's a few other fish besides just the barbs in it, and they all need to be fed. So what we have in there is the barbs and the silver dollars, and then there is a Laparanus, which is that banded yellow blackfish. There's a young red devil, and there's a young doveye. One last fish over here is this snakehead. So as a result, trying to feed all of these different fish in this tank, they kind of have a little bit different diets, or at least a little bit different eating patterns. So let's take a look at what I'm feeding them. So this is kind of the cups I set out for them. So over here we have some krill. These here are some floating pellets, medium-sized floating pellets, and these are some much smaller floating pellets for the smaller mouths and the quicker fish that are going to get after that pretty quickly. Now they're splashers, and they hit pretty hard and pretty fast in here, so it's a little bit of a chore, and you got to kind of take your time feeding these guys. And they all get kind of a different feeding hole or spot. I'm standing here and they all know it's time to eat, so that's why they're buzzing around me. So, let's feed these guys. I start with some of the smaller pellets. That gets some of the barbs going. Then I'll add some of the larger ones. And everybody will sort of eat those, including some of the cichlids. But you see the snakehead over here? He's just sort of waiting. And he's waiting in his little spot because he gets some of the krill as his preferred food. So there he goes. I've just dumped that in. You can hear them all hitting the food that's floating around here. So now we got to add a little more. They're finishing that up mostly. And I'll sit back here and kind of watch a little bit. I've got an algae eater in there too. He's not making an appearance right now. He's probably hiding in a tube somewhere or something. And I'll come back this evening and make sure that he gets some vegetation and stuff after everybody is fat and happy. I'll usually drop a wafer in for him to eat at night and scour. And it's not unusual for me to feed some green beans to this tank as well, which the algae eater will eat. Oh, there he's making a bit of an appearance right now. And it's good for everybody to get some of that extra vegetation, vitamins, and things that they need. Thanks for watching.